Welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can do your own custom function calling in Firebase AI logic in native Android application with Kotlin. So let's get started. So first let me just run the application so that I can show you guys the output. Now given that this is still building, just let me quickly explain it. So in this we are doing a custom function calling which can get the weather for a particular city. Now I am not calling any real-time weather API. I'm just showing you how to do it. So here you can see once I run the application, I'm passing the city location and what is the weather for it, and based on it it gives me the weather. Like I said, I'm not calling a real weather API, but I'll show you where you can call your weather API or whatever custom function calling you want to do. I've just hard coded this data for now. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So first as usual, you need to go to Firebase, create a Firebase project, and you can give it whatever name you feel like. I'll just give it as my app 2. Okay, I'll just click on continue. I'll enable Gemini in Firebase. I'll click on continue again. I'll disable Google Analytics. I'll click on create project. So let's just wait for this to finish. In the meantime, I'm using XML layout, but if you want you can use Jetpack Compose as well, so it's up to you. Then you need to go to manifest, android manifest.xml, and here make sure you add the internet permission. Also, while running the output on a real Android device, make sure you are connected to Wi-Fi or mobile data, otherwise your app will crash. Gemini requires an internet connection for it to communicate. Even if your function calling, a custom function calling, does not require internet, it's better for the user to stay connected. If they are not connected, maybe you can throw an error or show an alert dialog, whatever you feel like. Okay, then just click on continue in Firebase. Then we need to register our Android app, so let's just wait. So select Android over here, and then you need to go to build.gradle.kts, and here you can just copy this particular namespace. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Then I'll just click on register app. So let's just wait for a few seconds. Then here you can download the Google services.json file. Then just click on next again. Oh sorry, we need to copy paste this inside the app folder, right? So you can just go to the project directory. Here you can open the app directory, and here you can just drag and drop the Google services.json file. As you can see, I have already dragged and dropped, so I'm not doing it again. So I can just go to the Android drop down again, then just click on next. Then here you can just copy this particular ID over here, go to build.gradle.kts and paste it over here. Then scroll down, copy this particular thing, and here you can go to build.gradle.kts and paste it over here as well. And then copy this Firebase bomb dependency, scroll down and paste it over here. Now there are two more dependencies which you need to add. So first one is this Firebase AI logic, which is necessary. Now it depends whether you want this Kotlin X serialization library or not. So in my case, I require this Kotlin X serialization JSON library, because it depends on what type of custom function logic you are trying to implement. So in like I was saying, this Kotlin X serialization, this is not a required dependency, but it depends on what kind of output you get from your custom function calling. That's why I have introduced this particular Kotlin X serialization library as well. Now if you are like me using this Kotlin X serialization, you have to be extremely careful, because the version of Kotlin X serialization depends on the version of Kotlin you are using. So here I am using 1.7.3, right? And if you want to check the Kotlin version, you have to go to libs.versions.toml, and here you can see it is 2.0.21. So to check what kind of Kotlin version you require, Kotlin X serialization required, depending on the Kotlin version, you have to go to this particular URL over here, and here you can see I can't use 1.9.0 because that is corresponding to 2.2.0 of Kotlin, but I'm using 2.0, right? So even I can't use this 1.8.1. So I can use 1.8.0. No, I can't even use 1.8.0 because it requires 2.1.0 of Kotlin. So if you scroll down, even I can't use this one. So the final version is 1.7.3, which corresponds to Kotlin 2.0.20. So that's why I have used that particular version inside the build.gradle. So you have to be extremely careful. Like I said, you need to add this dependency, and for Firebase AI logic you need to add this dependency. Then just go to Firebase again, just click on next, and then just click on continue, then click on AI, click on AI logic, I'll just minimize this particular option as well. Then just click on get started. Inside Gemini developer API, click on get started with this API, click on enable. Let's just wait for a few seconds. Okay, it is taking a bit of time, I don't know why. Okay, then just click on continue. Okay, I got a failed error, I don't know why. Hopefully it is enabled. Say yeah, so it is enabled. Okay, so I have already shown you guys this, right? So here inside activity underscore main, all I'm just doing is I'm using a text view, nothing else. I've already shown you this, I've shown you this. So inside Android manifest I have added the internet permission, so this as well as this. Now let's see how to use this, how to create your own custom function. So firstly, these are all the imports which I am using, so feel free to pause the video and copy the imports. Now I want a function which takes input as a location, so that's why I've created this Kotlin data class which and this location has a city as well as state. Okay, then here we have created one variable for text view. Then here is our custom function declaration. So here you can give it whatever name you feel like is right for you. So for me it is fetch weather. Okay, and you need to give some description. So the better the description, like the more you describe it, the better, so that Gemini will know what exactly are you trying to do, even though the custom logic is written by you. And here are the parameters. So I'm accepting a location parameter which has state, city as well as state. So that's what we have defined over here, and you have to define the data types as well. And here you also need to describe it more, like what exactly, if it is a complex input. And here I am also taking another input called date, which is of type string. So there are two inputs to our custom function, one is location, second one is date. Then here we create our model, so Gemini model. So at the time of me recording, the updated one, latest one is Gemini 2.5 flash, that's what I'm using over here. And here we pass this fetch weather tool which we have defined over here. Then inside on create we just initialize our text view. Then here we create a coroutine as well. So on the IO thread we just define one prompt, like what was the weather in Boston on October 17, 2024. Like you can pass whatever you feel like. Then here we just do model.start chat. So we have to do this on a background thread, that's why I'm using coroutines.dispatchers.io. Then here we get the result. Then here we just do result.function calls. Then we try to find the name. So whatever name you had defined it over here, right, the fetch weather, same you need to find it over here. So suppose in case if you have multiple tools been passed, that's why we are checking this. Then we, whatever output we get the location out of it, and we get the date out of it. And then we just pass it to this fetch weather method which I have defined at the bottom. I'll show you that shortly. Then we just do chat.send message, and here we pass the content as function, and here we get the function response data. Again I pass fetch weather over here, and this is the function response which we get. And whatever response we get, we just display it inside our text views text, and we have to switch to back to the main thread. Now here is our fetch weather method. So here, like I said, it takes a location and date, but I'm not really using it. I just wanted to show it to you. And here you will have to write your own custom logic. So suppose if you are like me doing fetch weather, you might have to call a weather API for this, and then whatever output you get, you can return it like this. So yeah, that's all there is to it. The important thing is inside this fetch weather or whatever custom function you are writing, you will have to write your own custom logic over here. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. Bye.